Ever since I was young, I have always been asked the daunting question by my relatives and other friends. So, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or, what do you want to do when you're older? I would stare at them blankly and say, a doctor. They then would ask the typical follow-up question, what type of doctor do you want to become? I would say, an orthopedic surgeon. To which they then would respond with, oh wow, that's so cool how you already know what you want to do at such a young age. I constantly heard these responses over and over again throughout my childhood. It wasn't until my freshman year of high school that I realized that I didn't want to become a doctor. It was to my understanding that my heart and interest was never in the medical field. It was my parents. With having immigrant parents, I felt the constant pressure of having to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. I didn't want to disappoint my parents when I told them my change of thought. But I realized that you should always follow your heart and do what you love. And I understood that my parents just wanted what was best for me and didn't want me to struggle like they did. And in the end, I'm not planning on becoming a doctor or a lawyer, but rather an engineer. So I guess you could say it kind of worked out. Throughout my time, I believed that everyone had one singular passion and that their job was to find it and to pursue it. And if you did that, that meant everything about life and success in general would fall into place. And if you didn't, you would fail. Ever since we are young, we are always told to follow our passion. But how are you supposed to find your passion? I mean, what are you even supposed to look for? Passion is defined as a very strong feeling of love, hate, anger, enthusiasm, and etc., according to the Oxford Dictionary. Passion is not a plan. It's a feeling. And we all know that feelings can change. You can feel one mood or emotion one day and not the next. And this idea was really hard for my brain to wrap around. I always knew that there was kindness in my heart that wanted to do good in the world and help others. So I took that and portrayed it through volunteerism and community service. Throughout my high school journey, I would say I have over 1,000 volunteer hours from numerous events, probably even more. Who knows? I would volunteer at so many different types of activities, trying to fulfill that burning passion of mine of giving back to the community. But I never fulfilled it. Now, don't get me wrong, it felt good to do volunteer work, but searching for this fulfillment wasn't the answer. Why? Because you don't find your passion, it finds you. I would always search and search and search for my passion because I would fear that when someone would ask me, or that when I would ask myself, so what's your passion? I wouldn't have this wow compelling answer. But there is nothing wrong if you do not have a clear passion. Just try things you like. And not everything you do deeply needs to fit into your passion. Just go out there and try things. So that's what I did. I started working with my father on a nonprofit called the Jageshwar Dham of Nepal around spring of 2021. In April of 2015, a massive 7.8 earthquake struck the country of Nepal. It was recorded as the worst natural disaster of that year, leaving everyone and everything devastated. Its epicenter was near the capital city, Kathmandu. Its magnitude was so big that neighboring countries could feel its waves. Melamchi, a municipality about 20 miles northeast of Kathmandu, was especially struck hard. This was my father's home, where he grew up. but also my home and many others. Higher regions of Melamchi, where many villages were located, were left empty and destroyed. Everyone had moved out and relocated to lower regions or to different parts of the country. In an underdeveloped country like Nepal, I knew that if nothing was ever done, it would remain the same. And I couldn't just leave a beautiful place and home to remain devastated. So that's where our nonprofit comes into play. We started working with the local and state governments of Nepal to restore these homes, buildings, and other structures that were affected by the earthquake. Now, this is only one of our pillars and goals of our foundation. Once we were able to restore these homes, we started working on another project. In Nepali, it's called a dham. In English, a shrine or a pilgrimage site. The total estimated cost for this project is $10 million. Redesigning and designing new homes, bridges, temples, buildings, and other structures with the help of our family, friends, villagers, workers, but especially the Nepali government. In just a moment, I will show you virtual images created by the government in hopes of what we plan to design. This has not been built yet because it is a very big project, but it is to be completed in future years. If you look up at the screen, this is one of our main entrances that we have at the lower region. You can see at the main two pillars, there are different Hindu gods and goddesses engraved in them, along with other significant cultural designs. As you head up the stairs, you approach a resting point. There are many resting points identical to these ones at different parts of staircases or different parts of our project. In Nepal, it's a very elevated country and an inclined country. So that means if you want to go somewhere, that probably means you're going to have to climb stairs or walk an incline. And we all know how tiring that can be. So our team thought that it was a good idea to include these resting points. When you reach the top of the stairs, and I'm putting that in quotes because there are more staircases to come, you can see straight ahead that there are restrooms located right there, and to the left, more staircases, and to the right, a bridge. These staircases and this bridge are just different pathways to different parts of our project. If we look at this from a bird's eye view, you can see those stairs located at the very bottom and that bridge at the very right. Now, if you're wondering, where did the restrooms go? This is a zoomed out bird's eye view, so small buildings like restrooms and other storage buildings are not pictured. If we keep looking at those stairs at the very bottom, you can see that they lead up to another entrance. This is our main entrance at the higher region. It is identical to the one at the lower region, but it acts as more of a vehicle entry. Straight from the entrance, you can see a parking lot. Now, if you're also wondering, why isn't this parking lot much larger? In Nepal, most people get around by foot or by motorcycle, and some cars, but mostly by foot and by motorcycle. So, making this parking space larger wouldn't be beneficial, and we wanted to utilize our space for other parts of our project. If you go straight ahead from the parking lot, you approach a picnic spot. This area is just a great space to hang out with your friends and relax. The structures that are pictured there are pavilions, in case of bad weather and you need to take shelter, or just another great spot to hang out with your friends. If you look towards the middle right, it is quite small, but there are other staircases pictured there. These lead down to our dham area. This is the biggest part of our project. Straight ahead in the middle, pictured there is a temple, and to the right, a small building that hosts different cultural and religious events that may take place. Also included in the dham area is a Shiva Linga. A Shiva Linga is a votary object and a representation of the Hindu god Shiva. There are 108 of these, because that is a very significant number in the Hindu culture, but also the story behind the Shiva Linga, which I would love to get into, but it is quite long. And last but not least, we have a cafe area. This is just elevated a little bit higher from the dham area. Our vision and goal with the cafe was to boost employment in the municipality of Melamchi and to boost business and industry. And you can see our project from a whole bird's eye view. Anything that you see pictured there that I did not mention are just other restrooms, pavilions, little storage areas, or other pathways and staircases. Throughout my time working with my father and this amazing team that has helped grow the Jageshwar Dham to where it is today, I have learned one important lesson. Passion should not feel like a job or a chore. It is important to know that this is everyone's first time living as well, and we are all just trying to figure out ourselves and this world. But the secret to getting ahead is getting started. You have to get comfortable with trying new things, because every 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. And for me, that's all I needed to have that epiphany that this was my passion. Passion is something that is with you and inside of you all the time. You just have to let it out. Passion is where your energy and attention meets somebody's needs. The need for passion is so important. Don't follow your passion. Let it follow you. Thank you.